Hey everybody, it's just Jen for this Tech Talk in November. I promised to share with you information on the community which is within the virtual.IAACE website. So let's get started. This is your website. So the advantage to bookmarking just the website is that you can bookmark just the website and have access to all the pages that you may need. But I would encourage you to bookmark pages that are important to you that you can easily go back to. A quick way to get to the virtual.IAACE or community is by going to the IAACE page, clicking that button, IAACE.virtual, right underneath the new scrolling pictures, and it should take you directly to this page. Now we're working on this, and this is eventually going to go away, and we're going to have a new home page of sorts. But there's two ways to get to the community. You can simply click up here, or right now there is the visit the community page, and that will be on there in some capacity in the future, just it'll look a little differently. So go up to the community and click community, and this is what you get. If you were to click the news feed, you notice you would get something very similar. If you click groups, then you would go to the groups page and forums as well and members as well. So the advantage of the just news feeds page is that I can put information out here in general of things that are going on. More than likely, you probably would have received an email about it or it's been on social, but this is just another place to look for it. The latest and greatest that's out here is, the session that got canceled at DRC or at conference from DRC. Yes, we've gotten that scheduled as on the calendar. You can see it is December 6th as well as December 8th. There are 2 sessions and there are links to register. You can also find that information on the calendar. So that's the advantage of just the community. Being able to just have a flow of conversation and networking. But what if you want to get it more specific or perhaps committee? Now, in the groups category, we can get it to that by groups, and then we can also get it back to in the corner. You can see there's lots of groups already formed: a communications committee, membership committees, IAACE board members, facilitators and volunteers from the conference. River Valley Resources has formed a group, the presenters from conference, as well as new members. Now, if you are a new member, obviously that's a great place to go and start. And as soon as there's some activity in there, there'll be some things posted. Now, whenever it comes to if there's not a group that suits your needs, then you can simply create a group. So when you create a group, you simply create a group button. I would suggest whenever it comes to a website that you always try clicking on what you want first. 7 times out of 10, it will probably work. There are always options. But so let's say you want to create a group on Tech Talk, asking all your questions on tech. You might want to type a description. And then create a group and continue. Now, this is where you choose your type of group. So public group, anyone can join. It's going to be listed in all the search results for all members, and it's in all the content is visible to everyone. For this particular group, that's what I'm going to leave it as. But to just touch on a private group and a hidden group, a private group might be a committee where you are working on particular task, and maybe not everyone needs to know about all of that. And then there is the hidden group. This is where you only want people that you invite, and that it's not going to be listed in the group directory or search results. Group content activity is only going to be visible to members. So use this with caution unless you plan on inviting members. Otherwise, it's not going to do you any good to hide a group. Now we go back down to group invitations, in which members of this group are allowed to invite others. We're going to leave it to all group members, because once we join, if you are talking technology and you want someone else to know about it, we want you to be able to add them. Which members of these groups are allowed to post activity in the field or feed? Again, we want this group to be all group members, but if you were forming a group, you may choose to organize it to only be the organizer and the moderator only, if you wanted to keep the activity on point. Then there's group photos, all group members, organizers, and moderators. This is totally up to you. It's about the control of the group and how much you want to monitor it. Group albums, same thing as group photos, group documents. I'm going to leave these all as all group members, simply because I want the group to be able to be shared by everyone or utilized by everyone. And then the last one is which members of this group are allowed to send group messages. This is a little tricky for this group. I'm going to leave it at organizers and moderators only, because I don't want people to be able to get in there and message everyone for something not related to what the group is about, technology. So that would be the reason why you would want to control it. And then we're going over to next step. Now, this is a group forum page. This is where you can create a discussion forum to allow members of the group to communicate in a structured bulletin board style fashion. Probably always a good idea, especially if you want to organize by particular topics. So we're going to go ahead and click this for this particular group. Then the next step is that you can upload a photo that represents this group. This image will be shown on the main group page and in search results. You can skip it, but let's go ahead and select a file for this Tech Talk page, and we'll find our Tech Talk graphics. Now, this is going to vary, of course, on your computer where you would find your photos or anything. So I'd suggest that you just go and find a photo that matters or makes sense for you. And that looks like a good one. And note it does skim it down or crop it down, but you can make it bigger if you like. Now, note, I make this as big as I can, and I can include Neil's image, or I could crop it down. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is. I'm going to make sure his little hands are in there. Then click next step. So it looks like that I need to upload a bigger image. This might be troublesome, but we will try one of the other Tech Talk images. I'll just try this one. Oh, I made a mistake. If it was uploaded successful, okay, so we're going to leave. Oh, it's in there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to next step. It is the second one that went ahead. And so now this is where you obviously, to get your group started, you want to invite people, because if there's nobody in your group, then how are you going to have a conversation? So I'm going to search for a few key players. I'm going to invite Neil and Amy. Neil has more than one profile, so we'll invite them both just in case. It's probably that one's an admin and one's a normal. As you can see, I'm on as Joe member so that I'm a normal member. I say that in quotes because it's not about being normal. It's just about I'm digressing, aren't I? It's just about the restrictions and stuff that you have with on the site. So that's what I'll start with in order to get started. And, I might invite a few board members in order to get started as well. So I'll invite Mike and Connie. Maybe Connie. There we go. Connie, our president and president-elect, in order to get started in the group. Now, you don't want to send them a blank invite. So you want to customize the message of your invite. I have my Grammarly app on to help with my words. It's a great app. I suggest you try it. Technology tip. All right, so then once you get your message in there and the members that you want to invite to get your group started, then you simply click the send button. And you're done. And then your group is completely finished and you just want to click the finish button. So now you can see that the group is formed, and in your group, you can see who your members are. You can check the feed. You can see photos, albums, documents. You can send messages, discussions, and you can send invites, and you can manage your group all on your group page. So the best way in order to get started with your group is to just get started and start exploring the group page. And I would strongly suggest that you start with a post in your feed, something that would welcome and then simply click post and your feed is there. Again, you can check photos, albums, documents, you can send messages, discussions, send invites, and go back to the manage. Whenever you manage your group, you can change the name, You can change any of the settings, the photos, the cover photo. You can change members. You can talk about it in the forum. And of course, you could delete it altogether. So get started on utilizing groups in order to have private conversations or not so private conversations, all to benefit topics that you want to discuss. And that's it for the community for today. Next, we're going to discuss the IAACE page and the success story. That can be accessed two different ways. You can click on advocacy, and you can notice if you just hover over advocacy, student success stories pop up there at the end. You can simply click, and the form is simple to utilize. The most important thing is you're going to remember is that it does scroll down, and not all utilizers may realize that it scrolls. So whenever you enter the information, name, phone number, email, they select the education program you attend. Whenever they select the program, then it will automatically email the director of the program the success story. And we are currently working on updates to that. If you would like it to go to more people, perhaps the PDFs, then we can add that as well. So then they select what classes they've taken, what was life like about before you came to the Adult Edu program, how has your life changed, how would you say your education allows you to reach the next level in your life, any staff member that impacted you, describe how the staff member supported you in your journey, and then they can upload their favorite picture of themselves, and also they can choose to upload a video where they describe their story in 30 seconds or less is ideal. Then they will click yes in order to release their photo and allow us to utilize the success story. And they type their full name, and that does all of that. Photo release, video release, and release of their success story. And then they can simply click submit. Like I said, these success stories go to the director, and we will add these success stories to go to PDFs or anyone else who would like them specifically for your program. You could get them all if you wanted, if you really want. So that is success stories on the advocacy page. Now, number three is overall in general the website navigation. The IAACE button or graphic in the corner simply takes you back to the home page. If you want your photos to be on this page, then you can send them into an advocacy success, or you can just email them to me if you like. We want these pictures to represent all of the advocacy successes as well as student successes. And we are adding more pages in that regards. So up in the upper left-hand corner is the members sign-in page. The things that you have to sign in for are mainly things that have to do with your membership, your Pacific membership as far as payment. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in. You can see that this is set for Joe member sign in, our fictitious person. So the things that you would want to sign in for, as I said, is about your membership. You can renew, upgrade, update your billing information. You can change your profile by clicking in any of the boxes. This is helpful if you want to change where your emails go to for IAACE. You can simply change your email, or you can simply add an email to this as well if your category was wrong. Administrator, Obviously, if you're an administrator of a program, an assistant or a support staff of a program, if you're a part of the Department of Workforce Development or an adult basic education coordinator within the department, teacher, educator, work one, a student, or an alumni, or if none of those describe you, then choose other. The other thing that you can do within when you log in is choose whether or not you are shown in the directory. And you can also choose to just not show your street address. And the business card is really important because this is where you can import import a picture as well as a brief description of what you might be looking for networking for. Your profile gallery, your profile description, anything that you want to be found for. If it's you have knowledge on what you have knowledge on, if you're looking for help with, love to help with, and then any of your social links. Now, you don't have to use your personal links. You can utilize your organizational links here as well. The only one that I would encourage you highly to use of your own is LinkedIn. Obviously, because you should only have a personal LinkedIn, and whenever it comes to a organizational LinkedIn page, they're a little different than the normal LinkedIn page. But you can update all those and then just click save and continue. The deal is for anything that you might want to pass on to other members, or if you're a supporter or a partner of IAACE, then if there was something related to specific of what type of benefit, you might put it here. Then your history gives your history of all the conferences you've attended and payments, anything that is in your history of your membership, it is there. And then of course your sign out button is there. Now, whenever I want to talk in general about what else that you have to sign in for, it's mainly about voting. If you have to vote, to see certain items that do not have to be public or we wouldn't want public. One of them, for instance, is the membership directory. You do have to be signed in order to see that. And there's some great benefits for the membership directory because I can search by a person's name, obviously, but I can also search by a particular topic. So if I wanted information on boot camp, then I could scroll down and I could see that Joe and Christy have information on boot camps. If I wanted to search by okay, that didn't come up with anything. Administrators. Oops, administrator. Then John Slatter has put administrator in his search box. So obviously I can find him. So don't go ahead and try it. Whenever you're searching for a membership directory, you can also search by a particular category. If you want the board of directors, or somebody who's been on the board before, then perhaps you can put that in there. If you wanted to find somebody on the communications committee, okay, no one of that. Membership. It's getting a little difficult, isn't it? So go ahead and give it a shot. And the more people that put in information on their profile, the more these search terms will work. But you can also just simply search by location. You notice if you scroll on in down to the Indiana, if you're looking for someone in a particular area or city, then you can get on in there, keep moving the zooming in. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. And you can find anyone that is in a particular area by simply hovering over their name. And all members are listed below. So you can find any IAACE member that you wanted to network with, perhaps someone you met at conference that you wanted to follow up with, any presenter. The community is also a great place for that as well as the membership directory. So that's a short clip on the website and one benefit for you. And that's it. That's all I've got today for today's Tech Talk with Just Jen. And I hope you'll join us next month for Tech Talk on the first Thursday. And go to the group, join the group. And remember, that is this group here. Go ahead, join the group. All right, you're asking, how do you join the group? All right, so I formed this group as Joe member. So obviously I'm a member of that already. But if I go to the groups page, and there was a group that I was not a part of, and it looks like I'm a part of a lot of these as Joe member. Okay, here's one that I'm not a part of. You can simply look at that, and this button will say that you want to request access to the group, and you click that. Now, if you wanted to join the Tech Talk group, then you would obviously do that. Any of the other groups you would choose. I'm only choosing this one because that's the one that I am not a part of as Joe member. So group page, go to the group that you want and request to join. And that's it for Tech Talk November. We'll see you next month. Ta-ta.